Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends and members of EGU, a warm welcome to the 2018 EGU award ceremony. An extra warm welcome to our medalists and awardees, their families, friends and colleagues. It's a great pleasure tonight, dear medalists and awardees, to honor your great achievements in your disciplines, your dedication for science and all the hard work. So for the opening of this ceremony, please spend a nice applause to the EGU President, Jonathan Bamba.
Well, I have to say it's great to see so many people here. Although the ceremony is not really about science, it's about celebrating science, and that's important to do sometimes. And actually, this is, I think, one of the most enjoyable activities, events, responsibilities that I have as EGU President, and it's something that I look forward to and enjoy and really find an uplifting experience, and I hope you'll find it the same. So, this is, as you know, the award ceremony. You may notice from the photos that it's the same suit, but it is a different tie. So welcome to the award ceremony. Welcome friends, family and colleagues. This, as I've said, is a special occasion for you, but it's also a special occasion for us. It's a privilege for me, it's a privilege for EGU, and an honor as president to preside over this event. It's also, for me, quite humbling, as I'm very aware of the tremendous contribution that each of you made in your discipline. And in particular, for early career scientists, the contribution that I'm sure you will make in the future. As I said, this is perhaps the most enjoyable duty that I have to dispatch this week, but it's also an important one and a rewarding one, and it's rewarding because it's a pleasure to celebrate with you the success and brilliance of your achievements. It's an important one because you are the stars of your discipline, and you are, or you soon will be, the role models for the next generation of great scientists and exceptional talent. And it's important not to forget that our discipline of geosciences, is fundamental to the future health of the planet and the people that live on it. You know, what we do really does matter. Now, I think some of you may have experienced the EGU awards ceremony, which has a sort of very different style, very different culture. This is going to be, I think, hopefully, relatively short, relatively enjoyable, and I hope a kind of friendly celebration of all our awardees today. So I'd like to thank you for coming, and I think the past president is going to say a few words. Is that right?
Yes. Please welcome on stage the EGU past president, Hans Tübo.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a real privilege to stand here and be able to honor some of the best scientists in the world, in the geosciences. We indeed are here to celebrate excellence in the sciences. The finest minds worldwide will receive their honors tonight and during this week, and we are here to celebrate this. I'm sure that everyone who has studied the nominations, the short citations that are on the screens everywhere in the center will agree with me that these awardees really deserve their award for their achievements. And I'm also very proud as past president of the EGU that the list of awardees reflect a true international competition. EGU is a global organization, and this is also reflected in the list of medalists and awardees of the EGU. So, welcome to celebrate the best geoscience minds in the world, and thank you all for being here tonight, and welcome to the award ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now honoring our division medalists. for their great achievements in the various disciplines covered by EGU's divisions. So I will call you one by one on stage because the actual presentation of the medal has been taken place or will take place during the individual medal lectures. So make sure not to miss the medal lectures. They are very nice. And I will now call you on stage one by one. We will also show your slides. Please applaud for Edgar Parmentier, Augustus Love Medal, for outstanding research in the fundamental geodynamical processes of seafloor breeding, melt extraction and crustal formation, and the application of geodynamical principles to flow in the mantle. Big applause. And please also applause for Haruo Sato, Beno Gutenberg Medal, for outstanding contributions to seismology and the development of new insights into stochastic properties of Earth structure through theoretical and observational studies of scattered seismic waves. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Yotiram Vivekanandan, Christian Huygens Medal, for his pioneering and groundbreaking work on the microphysical characterization of clouds and precipitation by using advanced remote sensors. We welcome Bruno Berzard, David Bates Medal, for his pioneering analysis of spectroscopic observations to characterize planetary atmospheres. Rainer Feistl is awarded the Fridtjof Nansen Medal for creating the rigorous conceptual foundation of ocean thermodynamics through forming a Gibbs function for seawater. The Hannes Alfvén Medal 2018 is presented to Eckhard Marsch for fundamental contributions to our understanding of the kinetic processes and plasma turbulence in the heliosphere, as well as for work that helped Helios become a successful mission and initiated the solar orbiter. The Hans Oeschger Medal 2018 is presented to Hubertus Fischer for his innovative development and use of analytical techniques to measure chemical compounds and gas concentrations and their isotopic compositions in polar ice cores. Alberto Montanari is presented the Henri Dassy Medal for his physically based stochastic modeling and the major impact this had on water resources engineering and management. Kerstin Lehnert receives the Ian McHarg Medal for exceptional contributions to the advancement of informatics and, in particular, her pioneering efforts on open, transparent, and reproducible science. The Jean-Baptiste Lamarck Medal goes to James Best for major contributions to our understanding of physical sedimentary processes and their products in the geological record. Gabriel Cuttle receives the John Dalton Medal for his fundamental contributions to the theory and measurement of evapotranspiration, canopy turbulence, and ecosystem fluxes. Ilya Ozoskin receives the Julius Bartels Medal for his key contributions to long-term changes of cosmic rays and solar activity, qualifying him as a founder of the space climate discipline. The Louis Fry Richardson Medal is presented to Timothy Palmer for his fundamental contributions to the conception and practical implementation of a system for a sample weather prediction and the recent development of a similar probabilistic approach to climate. Frank Patton is presented the Louis Agassiz Medal for his unsurpassed contributions to the understanding of large-scale ice sheet dynamics and his leadership in the internationally coordinated efforts to improve ice sheet models. With great sadness, we posthumous award the Louis Neal Medal to Harry Green II for his seminal contributions to the mechanism of deep focus earthquakes, rock rheology, mantle dynamics, and the dramatic improvement of a solid pressure medium apparatus. The nomination was before he unfortunately deceased. David Todell receives the Milutin Milankovic Medal for fundamental contributions to reconstructing and understanding past climate cycles and the causes of the mid-Pleistocene transition. The Petros Peregrinus Medal goes to Miora Mandea for defining the nature of the geomagnetic field, particularly abrupt changes in secular variation known as geomagnetic jerks, and for advancing observatory and satellite data collection and analysis. Yakov Pachebsky receives the Philippe Ducheffaut Medal for outstanding research in the field of soil hydraulic properties and the fate of pathogens in soils, which greatly influenced the development of soil science. Hannah Clokey is presented the Plinius Medal for her outstanding research on uncertainties in modeling flood hazards and understanding risks in operational ensemble flood forecasting, as well as climate impact assessments of future flood risks. Todd Ehlers is presented the Ralph Alger Bagnold Medal for original and fundamental contributions to our understanding of the coupling between climate, tectonics and erosion, and for outstanding community leadership in geomorphology. The Robert Wilhelm Bunsen Medal is presented to Andrew Putness for outstanding contributions to our understanding of mineral transformations and mineral fluid interactions. Yves Langevin receives the Runcorn Florensky Medal for his excellent contributions to a number of space missions in which he has played a decisive role from the very first beginning. Giuseppe Di Natale joins us as recipient of the Sergei Solovyev Medal for his fundamental contributions to the assessment and management of seismic and volcanic hazards and risk. The Stefan Müller Medal goes to John Platt for his pioneering research in structural geology, which has fundamentally increased our understanding of deformation processes at plate margins through careful linking of field studies with mechanical and analytical analysis. Markus Rothacher receives the Wenning-Meines Medal for his pioneering work in linking geometry, rotation and gravity to space geodetic observations and subsequently enhancing the understanding of the Earth system. Pinchas Albert receives the Wilhelm Bjerknes Medal for his outstanding contributions to atmospheric dynamics and aerosol science. And finally, in absence, unfortunately, Antje Boetius receives the Vladimir Ivanovich Vernadsky Medal for groundbreaking contributions to biogeosciences and spearheading research on methane-based metabolism and the marine carbon cycle. Our division medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, as one of the 4 Union medals, EGU presents the Alexander von Humboldt Medal in recognition of research in developing regions for the benefit of society and people through which they have achieved exceptional international standing in geosciences and the space and planetary sciences. It is my great pleasure tonight to welcome here on stage the Alexander von Humboldt medalist 2018, Filippo Giorgi. And on union level, the EGU awards outstanding early career scientists with the Arne Richter Award for outstanding early career scientists. So please welcome together with me on stage for 2018, corresponding to the von Humboldt Medal, Sanguao Yao. EGU is strongly driven by the continuous exchange of interactions between early career scientists and senior scientists. Since our union medalists are role models for the younger generation, we would like to take the opportunity to honoring both together. On division level, early career scientists are honored with the EGU Division Outstanding Early Career Scientist Award. I herewith would like to call on stage the awardees related to the von Humboldt Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, Please applause for Natasha Jeffrey, Solar Terrestrial Sciences. Victor Villarasa, Energy, Resources and the Environment. Thomas Wahl, Natural Hazards. And Giovanni Ludeno, Geosciences, Instrumentation and Data Systems. Please take a seat. Quang-Ki Shi is kindly delivering the citation for Sang-Hwa Yao. Quang-Ki, please enter the stage.
I'm very pleased to deliver this citation under the request from Professor Denis Grodin, who nominated Zhenghua for this award. Zhenghua has made significant scientific breakthroughs in understanding the key issues in the dissipation of planetary magnetospheric energy, in particular, concentrating on the development of associated electrical current systems. I'm very impressed by Zhenghua's achievement at this still very early career. However, this was all predictable because I have known him for many years. Zhenghua has a very solid background in physics with an extremely open mind in applying the fundamental physics in an appropriate way. He demonstrates a good example that enjoying life and enjoying a job are the key to succeed. His great personality attracts people from everywhere, including myself. It's always very enjoyable to work with Zhenghua. Congratulations to Zhenghua, well deserved.
Sang-Hwa Yao is presented the Arne Richter Outstanding Early Career Scientist Award.
So it is a great honor to receive this Arne Richter Award, and it's also a great encouragement to me at this early career. I would like to thank Chen-Chi for delivering this brilliant dissertation, and I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude and appreciation to my PhD supervisor, Professor Zhou Yingpu from Peking University, and I will also appreciate the support from my project line manager, Chris Owen, Andrew Fazakli, and Jonathan Ray at MSSL, and Denis Grodin at University of Liège. So your support is extremely important to a young scientist who is suffering high pressure from writing paper proposal or unsecured job. So you are very, very much appreciated. And I also I must appreciate my wife, otherwise I would be in big trouble. And yeah, my wife's wish and support to me is extremely important. And also I appreciate my son. My son's huge passion in science is space science, particularly. So it's very, very, very important to me. So the family's positive feedback from my family is extremely important to me. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thomas Halenka is kindly delivering the citation for Filippo Giorgi. Thomas, please come on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, It's a great pleasure and honor to be here with the citation for Filippo Giorgi being awarded with the EGU Alexander von Humboldt Medal. I would like to be a bit less formal, giving a few words, telling a story how it happened. I don't used to consider so much, as probably most of you, calls for nominations or proposals like this. Actually, this is my first attempt. But it was nearly 2 years ago when I was attending a REC-CM workshop in the Abdus Salam International Center for Theoretical Physics, where Filippo is in a position of the head of Air System Physics section for quite many years already. And relaxing after lunch, or rather reading emails, I opened one from EGU, reminding the deadline for nomination for EGU awards. In that special mood of the environment, I, instead of throwing it away, I just asked a question myself. Is there anybody I know whom I could nominate for such awards? You can clearly understand that as being in ICTP at a workshop organized by Filippo, I came to the idea quite quickly. After some discussion with other colleagues, we started thinking on climate division medal first, but there were some hesitations on it, and ideas for the Alexander von Humboldt medal came as well. Finally, we gave up that year because of little time for reconsidering it, but I kept the idea in mind, and last year we redeveloped that, and we have made it. Well, if you knew the mission of the Abdus Salam International Center for Theoretical Physics, you might say that most of aspects of the Alexander von Humboldt medal has to be in job description there. You are right. This excellent and distinguished institution is supporting the development of science in developing countries. They organize the training workshops, summer schools. They invite scientists from developing countries and support them in many ways. To be honest, this kind of support significantly contributed to the start of my career as well and in further development. You can read on the EGU web more detail of Filippo's achievements and merits. Here I would like to mention one which, from my point of view, really deserves the top appreciation. As father of regional climate modeling, by the way, next year it will be 30 years anniversary from his pioneering papers on this subject. He has been developing and maintaining the REC-CM model, of course, with his team, already for about 20 years after his return from US back to Italy, just to ICTP, and providing the model to all parts of the world, and especially to the developing countries, just through the training workshops organized either in ICTP or even hosted locally for broader impact of them. Above it, the strong community of the users was established at REC-CNet, which provides a forum for further spreading of the model, its validation, development, etc., including this way just many communities and growing groups from the developing world. This became one of cornerstones of the international activity within WCRP called Cordex, which was founded with strong Filippo's contribution. This indeed contributes to the real needs of developing countries, growing the expertise there to assess locally the climate change impacts and risks which are coming and affecting significantly just the developing world. Thus, this makes Filippo Giorgi an excellent recipient of the Alexander von Humboldt medal. Well, congratulations, Filippo, and I believe that on behalf of regional climate modeling community, or at least REC-CNet community, I can thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Filippo Giorgi is presented the Alexander von Humboldt Medal.
Okay, well, I didn't prepare any speech, actually, and Thomas already said almost everything that I wanted to say anyways. But I just have a couple of things that I wanted to say. First of all, I wanted to thank the EGU for this medal. I've come here for many years. I organized a session for many years, and it's always been a wonderful experience for me to come here. I want to thank my coworkers, because of course when you win a prize like this, you don't do it alone. You have a lot of people working with you. And of course I have to thank my family. They're not here, unfortunately, but I know they're looking at via streaming. You know, people who do this business, that our families have to endure a lot of things. You know, odd hours, a lot of travel, lost weekends, changes of moods depending on how the model works. And I really have to say that we wouldn't be here if our families did not help us. So thanks very much for that. I just wanted to say two things. I'm really, really very happy about this medal for two reasons. The first one is that this medal recognizes the work we do you know, for scientists, with scientists in developing countries. This is one of the institutional missions of our center, the Abdus Salam International Center for Theoretical Physics. And we believe very strongly, at least I believe very strongly, that education and culture and science are probably the best, the most powerful tool for development, both at the personal level, at the societal level. So really do all we can. For me, it's a very, very important aspect of my work. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that this medal is entitled to Alexander von Humboldt. When I learned that I had received this medal, I wanted to learn more about von Humboldt. So I got a book, a wonderful book that I suggest everybody reads. It's called The Invention of Nature by, I forgot the author, I'm sorry. Andrea Wolff, there you go. So you must have read it then. It's a wonderful book. For me, it was a very humbling experience, actually, because you realized all the contributions that he had. I will talk a little bit about his scientific contributions during my lecture tomorrow, which I hope you will all be there. But among other things, he was a very adventurous man. He climbed mountains. He, explored jungles and deserts and crossed seas, taking measurements. He talked to kings, to emperors, to presidents, I think. He was really a rock star of science, I would say. Stephen Hawking of our time. And believe me, I'm not very adventurous. I don't talk to kings. I don't talk to emperors. I actually have talked to a prime minister once, which was a very interesting experience. And believe me, I'm really not a rock star. So this is why I'm really extremely, extremely proud of this medal, and I thank the EGU again. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now awarding the Alfred Wegener Medal and Honorary Membership for exceptional international standing and achievements in atmospheric, hydrological, or ocean science. It's my great pleasure to welcome tonight the 2018 medalist of the Alfred Wegener Union Medal, Meinrad Andreae. And please welcome with me on stage the Arne Richter Outstanding Early Career Scientist Awardee corresponding to Alfred Wegener Medal, Yoshihide Wada. And corresponding to the Alfred Wegener Medal, we also have a number of Division Outstanding Early Career Scientists this year. So ladies and gentlemen, please applaud for Christo Boisert, Climate, Past, Present and Future. Sarah Bruni, Geodesy. David Faranda, Nonlinear Processes in Geosciences. Matthias van Merke, Soil System Sciences. And in absence, Claudia Moore for Atmospheric Sciences and Jan Zika for Ocean Sciences. Murugesu Sivapalan is kindly delivering the citation for Yoshihide Wada. Siva, please come on stage.
Good evening. The first thing that strikes anyone about Yoshi Wada is the breadth and the global scope of his education. BA in Political Science from the University of Western Australia. MA in International and Environmental Studies from the University of Tokyo. And then he switched fields and he took an MSc and PhD in hydrology from Utrecht University in the Netherlands. If education in 3 continents is not enough, consider his postdoctoral training at NASA and then Columbia University in the US. With a scientific reputation and stature that belies his age, now he is into a leadership position as Deputy Director for the water program at EASA here in Vienna at the tender age of 37. Yoshi represents a new breed of hydrologist, perfectly fitting to the era of the Anthropocene. His pioneering work focuses on capturing the human footprint in models of the global hydrologic cycle. This is a new and growing field, and Yoshi is without question the leader of an elite group of people who are spearheading it. With a research output that is of a pioneering nature and breathtaking in its scope, he has generated research outcomes that have changed perceptions about how hydrology interacts with human activities and with society at large. Yoshi carried out the first global quantitative assessment of groundwater use and depletion, the first global and regional assessment of transboundary groundwater stress, and the global assessment of how irrigation is maintained through unsustainable groundwater exploitation. He is the lead author of a landmark paper that connected groundwater depletion to sea level rise. He successfully linked groundwater depletion to global food trade, which changed perceptions of how to manage local groundwater resources internationally. He has invested substantial effort into developing a global hydrological model that integrates human water use at previously unexplored spatio-temporal resolutions. Yoshi has published over 90 articles in top peer-reviewed journals, including GRL, WRR, HES, Nature, Nature Geoscience, nature climate change, global environmental change, and so on. His citation growth has been phenomenal. 3,800 citations so far in the Web of Science, over 1,000 citations this year alone, and an H index of 26. This is a level of scientific productivity and impact unheard of at his age, and the mind boggles at the kinds of breakthroughs and transformative changes to global hydrology that Yoshi is going to produce over the next decade. So, for the excellence of the work he has done already, and for the clear promise of more to come, Yoshi Wada deserves to be recognized with the Arne Richter Award for Outstanding Early Career Scientists. Thank you very much.
Yoshihide Wada is presented the Arne Richter Award for Outstanding Early Career Scientists.
So thank you so much, Shiba, for a great citation. It's really a great honor to be cited by you. And thank you also for the EGU Council and the EGU Secretary, EGU staff, with a lot of voluntary work coming in to make this happen. Thank you very much. I'm actually quite a normal person, so I'm not that special. And I want to thank you, my colleague in the Netherlands, which I spent about 10 years doing my studies, and also my colleague at the NASA in the US, and also my colleague at the ESA right now I'm working, and also to my family in Japan. I think great things about EGU is that EGU always remind me how important interdisciplinary work is among different scientific disciplines. I come from hydrology. Water is cross-cutting issues. And I also have many different international collaborators coming from different sector, energy, agriculture, and sometimes also tectonics. I think it's important to really work together across different disciplines to produce a very important study contributing to the societies. And I hope I can do so from now and the coming years. Thank you very much.
Ulrich Pöschl is kindly delivering the citation for Meinrad André. Uli, please come on stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to present the Alfred Wegener Award citation for Andy Andre. Andy is an outstanding scholar and world leader in geoscientific research. He has greatly contributed to scientific progress through his pioneering research, groundbreaking results, and outstanding service to the global scientific community. Andy's major scientific discoveries and research themes are the close coupling of the atmospheric and the marine sulfur cycle and its role in climate, the global importance of gas and aerosol emissions from biomass burning and vegetation fires, and the unraveling of aerosol effects on clouds, precipitation, and climate, especially over tropical rainforests and oceans. In particular, Andy has pioneered and greatly advanced the investigation and characterization of near-pristine atmospheric conditions at remote locations, which can be taken as a proxy for pre-industrial conditions and are crucial for the understanding of the influence of anthropogenic pollution on climate and global environmental change. A characteristic feature of Andy's work is his exceptional ability to grasp the big picture, to identify key scientific questions, and to propose and implement viable pathways to answer these questions. This approach and his deep scientific understanding of the Earth system brought him to play leading roles in many successful international geoscientific projects, programs, assessment studies, and long-term collaborations between scientists around the world. In particular, Andy is among the initiators and main drivers of the Integrated Land Ecosystem Atmosphere Process Study, ILEAPS, the South Africa Fire Atmosphere Research Initiative Safari, the Large-Scale Biosphere-Atmosphere Project in Amazonia, LBA, and the Amazon Tall Tower Observatory, ATO, as well as other large-scale field experiments and measurement campaigns in Africa, Asia, the Americas, and Europe. Andy's groundbreaking studies and outstanding scientific achievements are reflected in a large number of highly cited publications and scientific honors. He has mentored numerous graduate students and postdoctoral researchers, many of whom are now in faculty or senior scientist positions and continue to serve and promote geoscientific research and international collaboration, building on his great achievements and big picture of Earth system science. In particular, Andy practiced, taught, and in this way really also spread a truly, not just formally, but truly interdisciplinary, truly open-minded, and truly inclusive, which is really a very important aspect for this kind of work. So a truly inclusive approach of scientific research and collaboration. Last but not least, Andy and his co-workers have contributed to the success of the European Geosciences Union in many ways through publications and also to the meeting which he and his team have attended regularly. And so thus it's really my great pleasure to congratulate Andy once more for receiving the Alfred Wegener Award.
Meinrad André is presented the Alfred Wegener Medal and honorary membership.
Well, thank you, Uli, for these very kind words. I'm blushing. I'm especially happy, actually, about receiving this award, which is named after Alfred Wegener, who is one of my heroes as an explorer, scientist, as a person who went to the Arctic and did science there under the most difficult circumstances, and also as an interdisciplinary thinker whose interests also reached well into meteorology, who pioneered discussions about aerosols in cloud physics, which is actually one of my own research themes. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the EGU's award committee, my reviewers and nominators for this award, and in fact, mostly all my friends and colleagues who invested their time and effort to support my nomination. So thank you for all your support and for this great honor. Now, let me take this opportunity to actually give credit to two people who had profound impacts on my thinking and on my scientific career. The first one is Ed Goldberg, my PhD advisor at Scripps in the 70s. He gave me a thesis topic that involved microbiology as well as chemistry that spanned from sedimentary pore waters to atmospheric aerosols. And he made me aware of the power and of the excitement of interdisciplinary research and of the complex interactions between all the components of the Earth system, which was sort of a guiding line through all my work and my career. It also taught me the importance of serendipity, to always keep my eyes open for the unexpected, unintended outcomes of scientific experiments. Such serendipitous results are often more important and give more insight into novel science than the original intents of that experiment. For example, my work on DMS, dimethyl sulfide, and climate, on the sulfur cycle and its and the microbial influence on atmospheric climate then actually began with the observation of some extra peaks in gas chromatograms that I made during my thesis work on arsenic. And as my colleagues know, I developed a preference for looking at the big picture, something that I also owe to Ed Goldberg. He always emphasized the importance of looking at whether our questions and conclusions made sense in the big picture and of not getting just bogged down in the minutiae of our research. The other person I'd like to acknowledge is my friend and colleague at Max Planck, Paul Crutzen. Paul gave me the opportunity early on to work with him in the early stages of the design of the IGBP, setting an agenda on interdisciplinary research, and especially bringing together the biological and atmospheric sciences, and to develop a global Earth system perspective. Paul was also instrumental in bringing me to the Max Planck Society, the institution that gave me the freedom and resources to develop an international research program, out of which grew interactions with scientists from around the world who have become cherished colleagues and friends. Finally, I would like to say thanks to my wife Tracy and my daughter Claire for patiently enduring all the absences and distractions that come with a busy international scientist's life. So thank you to all of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now awarding the Arthur Holmes Medal and Honorary Membership for exceptional international standing and achievements in solid Earth geosciences. It is my great pleasure to welcome on stage tonight the Arthur Holmes Medalist 2018, Shelal Schenger. And in relation to the Holmes Medal, please welcome on stage the corresponding Arne Richter Outstanding Early Career Scientist Awardee, Mathieu Molligem. I am also calling the corresponding EGU Division Outstanding Early Career Scientist Awardees on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please applaud for Thibaut Duret, Geodynamics, Martin van Driel, Seismology, Fabio Corbi, Tectonics and Structural Geology, Marcos Riveri, Earth Magnetism and Rock Physics, and Liran Uren, Geomorphology. Jonathan Bamba is kindly delivering the citation for Mathieu Molligem.
Yes, so you might be wondering why I'm delivering this citation. I should say that as president of EGU, I'm not allowed to make any nominations for any awards, and it's simply because Matthew's citationist, who I don't know who that was, wasn't able to make it today, so I'm going to deliver this on their behalf. I should say that I I know Matthew quite well, and it's a real pleasure to, it's not a chore, it's a pleasure to deliver this citation. So, during his PhD, Matthew worked at NASA's JPL, Jet Propulsion Lab, as a core developer for something called the Ice Sheet System Model, ISSM, a massively parallel open source ice finite element model that implements several momentum balance models according to the type of flow encountered. Using this model in its early stages, Matthew elegantly demonstrated the need for an ice sheet model that can employ what's called the full Stokes equations of flow at ice sheet grounding lines, where they are needed to reproduce observations, but simpler and more computationally less expensive models elsewhere. Matthew has remained deeply involved in model development and recently pioneered the use of level set methods, an implicit boundary tracking scheme to permit changes in ice sheet carving fronts. He's also remained a co-organizer of yearly ISSM workshops aimed at interactive sessions that introduce beginners to the model and a simulation of available data products. Another major accomplishment is Matthew's innovative method for reducing uncertainty in ice sheet bed ice thickness using the mass conservation approach. Not only does this method provide more robust information about the ice sheet bed topography in regions of critical importance, but it also provides a mechanism for identifying regions where more data are needed. In addition to this, in addition to his impressive contributions to the field, Matthew is an open and responsive collaborator. He has worked with a broad range of collaborators and is easy to engage regarding new ideas and directions. Based on these achievements and his contributions to the cryospheric community, Matthew is a worthy recipient of the Arne Richter Award for Outstanding Early Career Scientist. So congratulations, Matthew.
Mathieu Molligem is presented the Arne Richter Outstanding Early Career Scientist Award 2018.
All right, thank you very much, Jonathan, for your kind words. I would like to first thank Jenny Catania, who couldn't make it and nominated me for this award. She's not only a great scientist, she's also a wonderful person, so I would like to thank her first. Like Yoshi said, I'm also a normal person. I'm just extremely lucky to be surrounded by amazing people. I would like to thank Eric Regnault, who was my PhD advisor and now a colleague. That introduced me to the field of glaciology that I'm really passionate about now. I would like to thank all of my co-workers and colleagues, Helen Serussi, Eric Lawor, all of the members of the ISSM family. I would also like to thank EGU for organizing these awards. I think it's great. It gives us the little push that we need sometime to keep working hard. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Anja Schmidt, our second Arne Richter Outstanding Early Career Scientist awardee related to the Arthur Holmes Medal, can unfortunately not be here tonight. Nevertheless, Ken Karsler is kindly delivering the citation for her. Ken, please enter the stage.
Thanks very much, Martin. So I'm very happy to outline some of Anja Schmidt's many contributions to geoscience that have led to this award. So Anja has made many and varied and outstanding contributions at the interface between volcanology and atmospheric science, spanning contemporary climate, paleoclimate, environmental impacts, atmospheric chemistry, air quality, and policy. Anja's notable contributions include quantifying the importance of degassing volcanoes for anthropogenic climate change, the potential effects of large effusive eruptions like Laki on contemporary air quality and human health, overturning the hypothesis that volcanic sulfur alone causes mass extinctions, and showing how often neglected small magnitude eruptions have affected the ozone hole and recent climate change. So Anja has built strong collaborations in all of these areas completely independently. through which he has actually educated many atmospheric collaborators in the need to properly represent volcanic effects. And on the other side, she's also showing volcanology community why their research is so vital to the atmospheric and climate community. So for these broad and impressive contributions to geoscience make Anja Schmidt a highly deserving recipient of the Arne Richter Award for Outstanding Early Career Scientist. So Anja, I know it's a shame you cannot be here, but I know you're watching, so I'm talking directly to you now. I just want to say how grateful I am for our many collaborations and exciting interactions, and I wish you all the best in the rest of what I'm sure will be an outstanding career. Thank you.
In absence, Anja Schmidt is presented the Arne Richter Outstanding Early Career Scientist Award 2018.
So I've received a telegram. So from Anja, she says, I'm deeply honored, grateful, and very proud to receive the Arne Richter Award today. Firstly, I'd like to thank the EGU Award Committee and Ken, that's me, for nominating me. Being an academic isn't always easy or straightforward. I'm not sure if that's involving working with me, but on most days, I feel blessed with my job, and receiving an award like this is truly memorable highlight of my career, even when I can't be there in person. Over the years, I've been fortunate enough to meet and work with many influential, brilliant, and supportive mentors and colleagues from all over the world. They all made their mark on my career, and without their willingness to collaborate, I would not have received this award. As challenging as it is, I strongly encourage early career scientists to work across disciplines. It's incredibly exciting as well as rewarding, and I truly believe that some of the best work is done in collaboration and across disciplines. Thank you once again for presenting me with this award. It's a great honor.
Leyreuden is kindly delivering the citation for Shelal Şengör. Please come on stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my very great pleasure to present to you Ali Mehmet Celal Şengör, who, unlike several of the other awardees tonight who claimed that they were normal people, I think no one, including Celal, would claim that he is, in fact, a normal person. He is a unique figure in the earth sciences, a world leader in tectonics. He speaks English, German, French, Italian, Russian, Spanish, Turkish, and probably some other languages, many of them in an extremely posh, or as the British would say, plummy accent. Celal was born in Turkey, and he received his PhD at SUNY Albany, working with the legendary Kevin Burke and John Dewey. And there are now very many permutations of the names Dewey, Şengör, and Burke appear on quite a number of seminal publications, which are now classics. Sadly, Kevin Burke, a dear friend to me as well as to Celal, and also the recipient of the Holmes Medal in 2014, passed away 2 weeks ago in Massachusetts. So this is both a time of celebration for Celal, but also for us a time of sadness. Celal has written hundreds of research papers, and of those, I want to just highlight a few of his most impactful contributions. First, for me, the Paleozoic assembly of the Altaid origin in Central Asia, where he showed that this newly formed continental crust was composed of subduction arcs that were swept up and added to Asia. And this was he was basically one of the very first to propose that the continents grow by accretion of magmatic arcs, which is now the accepted thought. Second, his regional analysis of vertebrate fossils showed that the closing of the Paleotethys was correlated and played a role in the Permian extinction, thereby highlighting the interaction between the evolution of life and global tectonics. In his home country of Turkey, he's contributed more to the understanding of this complex region than any other scientist, following in the footsteps of the great Professor İhsan Çetin, and his work forms the basis of our modern understanding of Turkey and adjacent regions. His interests have now spread beyond the Earth and to the other planets, and he recently spent several weeks mapping thousands of thrust faults on Mercury, showing that the contraction of this planet occurred in the very early moments of the solar system. Jalal is also noted for being not only a great student of geology, but also of geological history and philosophy. He often regales his friends with tales of the ancient geologic greats. The first coming to mind are Emile Aragon and Alfred Wegener. And from this, he has the rather annoying habit of telling his friends, and especially I know at least me, that the idea that we're so proud of and published last year was first thought of 150 years ago by one of these greats. Jalal has chosen to live in Turkey, and he has formed the mainstay of Turkish geological science, single-handedly strengthening academic institutions for geological research there. At great risk to himself and his family, he's written and spoken about the need to maintain a secular democratic government. This is a lesson in courage and shows his commitment to democratic ideals. So, in closing, Jalal, it is my very great pleasure, indeed your honor, to say that I have been your friend and colleague for now 40 years. From the first day in an office at MIT, when you walked in, larger than life, although not quite as large as now, but fresh out of a movie set, this dapper Englishman in a three-piece suit, a pocket watch, bow tie, and in a posh accent said, "Hello, I'm Jalal Şengör," and me in my blue jeans, who had heard of this Jalal Şengör, said, "Oh, I know you." And according to Jalal, I jumped 3 feet backwards at that moment, although I think that may not be quite accurate. But anyway, after that beginning, who would have thought that now, 30 years later, we would be standing here on this stage together? So Jalal, congratulations, and very much deserved your receipt of the Arthur Holmes Medal.
Jalal Şengör is presented the 2018 Arthur Holmes Medal and honorary membership.
Jonathan just said I could respond. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Wiki, for proposing me, even after having known me for 40 years. What she said was true about our first meeting. And what she said about where I come from is also true. It always helps to be from an uncivilized country, because then people remember what you do, however little important it is. So being from Turkey helped. And I'm really grateful to two people. Although they were also professors in Turkey, they have become well known. İhsan Çetin, the fellow who discovered the North Anatolian Fault, and there were really the first active strike-slip faults. San Andreas was still being argued about. Çetin said North Anatolian Fault is a nice strike-slip fault, and he appreciated the idea that he was one of the very first to say that the tectonism on Earth can be described taking place along narrow boundaries around more or less rigid blocks, he called them at the time. And Dan Mackenzie assured me that his interest in continental tectonics was really encouraged by Kitting's 1948 paper. The other one was a geographer, Sir Ray Rinch, who was the first really to understand the quaternary climate changes around the Black Sea because he could read both Turkish and Russian. So that helped. I have to mention, which Wiki already did, two very great people that influenced me enormously, John Dewey and Kevin Burke. Without them, I wouldn't be standing here. They taught me how to do geology, and the basic message was, do not specialize. Geology is the science of the earth. Be interested in the planet and any other planet that might come your way, which was very helpful. Well, you needed a good memory to do that. And Wiki mentioned that I'm not very normal. I'm not. I have been diagnosed with they said it was a slight Asperger's disease. And that's extremely helpful to have because it gives you two things. One, it gives you a very good memory. And two, it gives you this fantastic ability of not to give a damn about other people's feelings. Which my poor, long-suffering wife sitting here always tells me that how unresponsive I am to any empathic feelings. And I keep telling her I don't feel them. And she says, I know. And it helps, I assure you, because when you have graduate students crying on your shoulder, you say, piss off, go and do your work, which is extremely helpful to them and to me. I have to mention Clark Birchfield, who during my very first days in the United States, been my teacher and a lifelong friend, he's been enormously helpful to me. Ken Shu in Switzerland was of great help from literally day one. Danny Bernoulli, he put up with me, and last but not least, Rudi Trimpe. He was a great figure, really a figure larger than life. I learned a huge amount of geology from him, and I learned how to say, oh, be modest, and never practice that advice yourself. Thank you very much. I'm extremely honored by this medal. I'm sure poor Arthur Holmes is spinning in his grave, but never mind. I enjoy the medal. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank you very much for your attention tonight, and we would also like to take the opportunity to thank once more and to also congratulate our medalists and awardees. The EGU President, Jonathan Bamber, is now kindly closing this ceremony. Thank you very much.
So look, you've sat in your chairs for quite long enough. I'm not going to go on for long, but we've heard quite a few citations. You've seen all our awardees, and I think you will have to agree that we are in the presence of really inspirational and brilliant scientists that have made a huge difference to our understanding of Earth system science and will do in the future. And I hope you've enjoyed the award ceremony. And I encourage you to carry on the celebration with the awardees with drinks and some light refreshments at the back of the auditorium here. So I'd like to now close this ceremony and again thank everyone for attending and and congratulate all our awardees on their fantastic achievements. So well done to everyone.